I unintentionally did super bias makeup and I feel powerful. This intro's more than I bargained for yet. Hi, hey, I'm Morgan, and today I'm going to be showing you my vinyl collection. I've been wanting to do new, fun, fresh content that isn't entirely bookish for a long time, just because I have so many other interests that I love to discuss that aren't just books. I'm a huge music fan. I love talking about what music means to me. I wanted to show you my collection of vinyl records because I love listening to music on vinyl because I am a stereotypical pop punk kid. So I wanted to show some of the variants that I have because I do like to find like really cool fun variants of vinyl. This is not a complete collection, just in the fact that I am in a constant state of looking for new vinyl. This is what I have at the moment. I want to talk about them and show you how pretty these records are. I'm a big pop punk person, so most of my albums are pop punk. I love owning the entire discography of my favorite bands, so you'll notice that as well. I just moved all my records over here, so I haven't had time to go through them and organize them. So I'm gonna start with this little tiny 45, I think is what this is. But it is A Day to Remember, Attack of the Killer B-Sides. Just like a little EP. I love it. It's not like a special variant. It's black, but look how tiny it is. It's so cute. I really like this. I don't spin it super often, and I haven't spun it on my new stereo yet. I wanted to do that and then segment into my Day to Remember albums. First one I'm going to talk about is Homesick, and I have this gorgeous yellow variant for it, and I absolutely adore how this record looks in my player. I'm not going to show every single record. I'm only going to show like the variants that are different colors and fun because you've all seen a black fucking vinyl record before. So next from A Day to Remember, I have For Those Who Have Heart, and then the old record, and these are both black variants. I'm still looking for cooler colors for those ones. And to finish out my Day to Remember albums I have so far, I have What Separates Me From You, and it's this like transparent blue variant, which I think is super cool. Next I have White Noise by Paris, and this variant is this like marbled black and white split, and this album just sounds phenomenal on vinyl. It just hits different, you know? Alright, next I have All Time Low. The only album I don't have by All Time Low on vinyl is Dirty Work, and I can't fucking find it for cheaper than like $100 online, and I'm not gonna pay $100 for All Time Low's worst album. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. But first I have Put Up or Shut Up. This was the first thing they put out when they were signed to Hopeless Records. It's a black variant, but it's still fun to have this one. Like, I couldn't believe that I found this at Magnolia Thunder Pussy, which is a local record store here. I was so stoked. Next, I have So Wrong It's Right, and this is a like red and blue, either split or swirl. It's like a red variant with like some blue mixed in there. This was a gift from a friend, and it's actually like pretty warped. It came warped when I got it, so playing it is very tricky, especially when I like started out and had one of those shitty Crosley Cruiser players that already fuck up your records. I still love this album, I just don't spin this one that frequently because I don't want to damage it more than it already is. Next, we have inarguably one of the best All Time Low albums, Nothing Personal. If y'all haven't listened to the re-release of this album, change your life. I love Nothing Personal. I have a Therapy lyric tattoo for those that don't know. I absolutely adore Nothing Personal. It is still one of my absolute favorite albums, and I have this gorgeous like clear with pink and blue splatter variant. I pre-ordered this the second that Hopeless Records announced it. I was like, oh, click, bye bitch. B-U-Y, bitch though. But also B-I. Next, I have my pride and joy, which is Future Hearts. This was a Glamour Kills exclusive pre-order neon pink variant. There were only 500 of these pressed. I absolutely adore this album. This is also a favorite of mine. I really, oh, I didn't go chronologically. Don't Panic came out before Future Hearts. Idiot! but I absolutely adore this variant. I think it is gorgeous. I love having it on vinyl. This was one of the first albums that I bought and was like, ooh, shit. Anyone else miss Glamour Kills? Because I miss Glamour Kills every day of my goddamn life. Next I have Don't Panic, It's Longer Now. I didn't buy the vinyl for Don't Panic because I was just like, why? I think Don't Panic, It's Longer Now. You get more songs. It's a double LP, so there's 2 records in here. And this variant's really fun. A yellow, green, and white like split. And a tricolored split is just bold, dare I say. But I really like this one. I don't play it as often because each side has like 4 songs. It's just a lot of flipping. And my last all-time low album is Last Young Renegades, and it's just, you know, your basic like opaque red variant. So not the most like daring that All Time Low has done in terms of their album pressings, but I still really enjoy it, and it fits really well with the aesthetic of the album. Next I have a pop punk staple in every home, and that is Mayday Parade's A Lesson in Romantics. Listen, every emo kid had that moment where they came home from school and were heartbroken because they were ghosted by someone, and they sat in their bed and listened to Miserable at Best and wept.
Do not pretend like you're alone tonight. I know you're there and you're probably hanging out and making eyes while across the room he stares. Oh, Betty gets the nerve to walk the floor and ask my girl to dance, because these words are never easier for me to say or her to second guess.
Alright, I'm done. I really like this variant. It is this orange and yellow like starburst. Oh. Next I have the Issues self-titled album. I haven't listened to this in a long time because I don't listen to Issues anymore. But it is this really cool like slate gray marbled variant, which I really enjoy. I'm just gonna do this because you don't need to see the whole ass record. Why didn't I do that from the beginning? I really like this variant. I think it's super cool. Next I have Let Live, The Blackest Beautiful, and this is black. Here, I'll show you one. You know what a black vinyl looks like. I love this album. I miss Let Live with all of my heart. Next I have the Hairspray soundtrack. Listen, I was at a Barnes & Noble and I saw it, and I was like very early in my vinyl collecting stage, and I said, I'm gonna buy that, and sure enough I fucking did. This I have Forgettable by Sorority Noise. I got this at Spring Fling Music Festival like 2 summers ago. Wax Bodega was there selling records, and Josh from the Wonder Years also works at Wax Bodega, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to Josh and buy a record. This artwork is so fucking pretty, and this variant is one of my favorites that I own. I think it is so gorgeous. It's so cool. Ugh. Love it. Yep. Next I have Silverstein's Arrivals and Departures. I think the same person who gifted me So Wrong Is Right gave me this because they had it, and they're like, I don't know why I had this. I don't even listen to vinyl. And I love Silverstein, and I love this like barely translucent like mahogany brown variant. I've never seen a brown vinyl before, and I love it. Next I have the Rocky Horror soundtrack because that's who I am as a person, and it is a like translucent red. Love it. If it wasn't red, I would have been very angry. Who wouldn't make a red Rocky Horror vinyl? Next I have Life's Not Out to Get You by Neck Deep. I love this album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time, and it's this gorgeous like turquoise color. Are you leaving for work? Yeah. It's pretty fucking stupid if you ask me, but aw, I love you. Well, give me a real kiss, coward. Turquoise. Oh, I just hit myself in the fucking face. Is this gorgeous like turquoise variant. It's showing up a little bit darker on camera, but I absolutely adore the way this record looks and just the aesthetic. I just love it. All right, and to finish off this collection, I'm going to show you my Wonder Years variants. I don't own Get Stoked on it. There was like a limited pressing, and it sold out in like 20 minutes or something, and I didn't buy it, and I don't care. I want to buy albums that I'm going to listen to and treasure forever, and the Wonder Years literally redacted the entirety of that album and took it off of Spotify because it's so bad. Like, I don't want to buy an album just to have it and never play it because it's like bad. That's why none of these are wrapped in plastic and like preserved forever, because it's fucking vinyl. Like, it died for 20 years and then resurfaced because a bunch of lame ass, quirky ass hipster pop punk kids decided to start listening to vinyl again. And I don't want Get Stoked on it. So anyway, the first album I have is the Upsides Deluxe Edition. I don't know if this was the 10th anniversary edition, I just know it was a like deluxe edition of it. It says I'm Not Sad Anymore, and then in here it has like this whole little thing written by Dan Campbell, which is super dope. And I absolutely adore this clear rainbow splatter. Oh, this variant is so wonderful. The cool thing about the Wonder Years vinyls is that they're most always double LPs. Not always, but in most circumstances. And this one has like an etching on one of the sides. If you look closely, I don't know if I can get it on camera, but etched into it, it actually says the Upsides. I love listening to this album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. The Wonder Years is my favorite band ever. I love having this album. Alright, next I have Suburbia, I've Given You All and Now I'm Nothing, which I have a tattoo from this album. I absolutely adore this record. It means the entire world to me, and it meant so much to me throughout middle school and high school, and it made me not want to like die. It is this like slate gray translucent variant, and there's little Hanky boy. I love him. I have a tattoo of Hank the Pigeon. The thing with the Wonder Years is that every single one of these albums came to me at a time in my life where I needed it more than I could ever possibly articulate. There was never a poorly released Wonder Years album in the context of my life, and that alone means so much to me. Next I have The Greatest Generation, which is another phenomenal piece. Everyone like claims this is the worst Wonder Years album, and if you believe that, fucking fight me. I will give my last dying breath defending this album. And this is a blue and red split variant, which I really enjoy. It's one of my favorites to spin. This is just one of my go-to like favorite albums because the last song on it is a mashup of every other song on this album combined, and it's just, if you listen to this album like front to back, it's just a wonderful experience. Speaking of their first album being really bad, I have the compilation album, which is called Sleeping on Trash, and this is a majority of their songs from Get Stoked on It and like EPs they've done. I love this album because like there's this like little van, and on the back is like a trailer, and then when you open it, it's literally just like garbage inside like a dirty ass van. Next is one of my favorites, and it's No Closer to Heaven. This was another album that means the entire world to me. I could do a whole video talking about the Wonder Years and what their music means to me. I've talked about them so much in my videos, and if you have ever followed me on Twitter, I literally, last year, all I talked about was Sister Cities. So this one is very similar to The Greatest Generation, but it's a blue and red like swirl, like starburst, instead of a split, which is really fun, and it matches the aesthetic of this way better. Like, I love the Greatest Generation variant that I have, but I don't think it matches the overall like aesthetic of the record. And then also, pay attention to this little Saint boy. This is another double LP. On side D of No Closer to Heaven, etched into it is the Saint from the album artwork. You can definitely see this one a lot better than the Upsides one. I love it. I love listening to this album. It's another one that's just phenomenal because every song leads perfectly into each other. These Wonder Years albums are meant to be listened to in order, like meant to be listened to as pieces. Like, you can obviously listen to them as individual songs. Like, that's what I do every fucking day. So next is Burst and Decay, the acoustic EP. I love how this looks sitting on my shelves. They just announced they're making a volume 2, so a second acoustic album. And this variant is really fun. I've never seen the Wonder Years go this bold, but they did like a purple variant. They also did a splattered one, but I was like, the Wonder Years did a fucking purple variant, gotta cop. And I did! So there's only 7 songs on this EP, so it's really short. It's a really quick listen, but I love putting it on like a rainy day because it's acoustic and it's super chill. and it's phenomenal, and it's just one of my favorite things the Wonder Years has ever done. I love when they do things more stripped down and you get so much more depth in their work. The final album I'm going to talk about, last but certainly not least, is Sister Cities by the Wonder Years. Can you tell that I fucking love the Wonder Years? This was my most anticipated album of last year, but honestly in this decade, like, I've never been more excited about an album coming out than Sister Cities. The marketing for this album and what they were doing with it, they sent like a bunch of random people mailing lists with like little 7-inch records with like a spoken word poem that Dan Campbell recited, and then like a whole ass song that they leaked, We Look Like Lightning. Like, oh my god, that was the coolest thing, and I loved everything they did with this album, and I love it. It is one of my favorite albums to come out in this decade, in my lifetime. I love this record so much. Mine and Ian's first date, after we got dinner and went to the book loft and got coffee and stuff, we sat in his car and listened to the entirety of this album. It was such a bonding moment, and it was so beautiful, and this album means so much to me, and I just love it, and this variant is so dope. Listening to it on vinyl is so chilling. Like, some of these songs with the crackle of the vinyl just barely noticeable, it just does something to me. It hits different, if you will. But this variant, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like gray and white and black marble. It's perfect. And on the back, it looks totally different. So here's the back of the album, because no two sides are ever gonna look the same, you know? I just love every aspect of this album and what it did for me. I listened to Sister Cities by the Wonder Years. So that was it. This is my current vinyl collection. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this type of content from me. If you ever want to see like updates on my vinyl collection or like vinyl hauls, that's also a thing. If you like this video, be sure to leave it a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. Definitely leave me comments on like your favorite bands, if you listen to vinyl, your favorite albums. Talk to me about music. I love to chat with you guys. It's like my absolute favorite thing. And if you'd like to see more of my content and more of my mug, you are more than welcome to subscribe. I try to upload every Monday and Friday. That's kind of my jam currently. And like I said, my name is Morgan. This is MorgyyReads, even though we didn't talk about books today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I end my videos by saying, and happy reading. Yup. Okay, bye.